Okay, good day guys, welcome back to another episode of U-Boat. We're on board U606. Just as we leave the port of La Rochelle here, we are heading out towards the port of Aruba, which is on the northmost point pretty much of South America. It's a very long way to travel, so it's going to be quite the episode here, quite a long one, but hoping I can cut out all the crap for you along the way. So I'll just show you where we're heading here. We're pretty much heading to the south of the Caribbean and whatnot, and the top of South America. As you can see, there's quite a bit of distance for us to cover. I mean, we're probably going to have to try and resupply our boat along the way here, but let's get started on the journey. So here's a little description of what it is we got to do. We've got to head to the small island of Aruba. Basically, it's a large oil field which is being used by the Allies, and we've got to go there to disrupt as much as possible, which I'm guessing is going to involve us using the deck gun or the anti-aircraft gun just to try and destroy as much as possible. And I am expecting to see some enemy shipping docked at the port. Just as we're heading towards our venue, we've managed to find ourselves some propeller noises, just a lone ship again. It's quite a common sight at this time of the war, surprisingly, but we're going to close in the distance and we're going to see what it is that we're dealing with. So we'll get right in there, and we have detection here. So here we have, looks like an NA1, and she's flying with a Spanish flag. I'm not too sure if I should just try and board it, see what it is, but she's unarmed, so I think I might just surface up the boat and save our torpedoes, and we'll just try and sink it with the deck gun, I reckon. Let's close in and see what it's all about. Yeah, so I've just decided to surface the boat here and close the distance, and I don't really want to play around too much with it, wasting any time. Got so much distance to cover. I'm gonna pop a few shots off here with the deck gun, and hopefully she won't take too many. She'll be down to the bottom of the ocean, and we'll be on our way, hopefully without a fuss. Not too sure if I should really be sinking a Spanish ship at this time. There we have it. The first victim of the episode is on her way to the bottom. Not necessarily sure if we should have done that, but it is what it is, and all the kills count at this stage. Okay, it's taken us a mighty long time to get here, but we have finally closed in, and we are getting very close to the target now. Just going to take it very slow, going to stay at the periscope depth here, and we're going to close in just to see if there's any enemy ships that are patrolling around, and we'll close in and see what it is exactly that we're dealing with here. Okay, so we've got our first detection here. Let's take a look and see what it is that we're dealing with. It's a British ship of sorts. Okay, so it's just a small boat, looks like a fast kind of craft thing. Pretty quick to come and find us if we do alarm it, so maybe we should deck gun that. I'm not too sure how we're going to play this yet. So there's quite a few ships parked up in the docks here. I'm not too sure if they're manned ships, but just going to start firing off the cannon. Start shooting out some of these oil targets. So we do have to destroy a few of them to complete the objective. And I'm kind of thinking if I can get that out of the way quickly, then I can maybe start thinking about trying to take down some of these ships that are in the area, but at this stage kind of looks like they're unfazed, and we've completely come in here without causing any alarm or distress, so let's carry on with that. Okay, so we've completed the main objective, which is destroying all the oil, or 4 or 5 of the oil storage things that they've got going on here, but there's been quite a few boats parked up, so I've been just sending off some shots at them. Managed to cause a couple of fires on board. We are going to try and stay in the area and take down as many of these oil I don't know what you'd call them, silos perhaps. But I want to sink these ships more importantly. I've already done the objective, so any extra damage we can cause here is just a bonus. So we've been popping shots off. There's a couple of tankers and whatnot parked up, and managed to take out most of those small fast craft boats in the area. So I kind of feel like we've got free rein to spend as much time as we like in this area right now. So there's still this big tanker sitting here at the docks. Definitely want to try and get rid of it while we're here. Seems like a long way to come and just do the bare minimum. That's why I'll try and cause as much damage as possible. I don't really want to send torpedoes out. We could save those for any convoys that we may find on the way back. There's definitely plenty of time and area for us to cover along the way back. So let's just close the distance, stop the boat, get back on that gun. A little bit difficult to see this tanker. There's enough of a silhouette there for us to take our few shots. Kind of just flipping between shooting the tankers and shooting the tanks on land full of the oil. I think we're going to be spending quite a bit of time here, so when I get into the edit I think I might just speed this part up just while we sink these ships and shoot as much as we can on land before we have to leave. Okay, managed to cause quite a bit of devastation to this tanker here. She's pretty much down at the bottom. I think it's quite shallow here. She might actually be already sunk. But we've been definitely causing quite a bit of damage to what's on the land as well. Still got plenty of ammo, a few shots left at least, so we're gonna just use up the last of what we got and see what happens. We manage to get out of here alive, hopefully. I haven't seen any reinforcements come my way yet. So this is the last boat that's left in the port. Definitely want to make sure that she goes down before we make our way out of here. We're running out of ammo, so we can't be leaving without doing that. The ship's trying to, it's already left the port while we've been trying to take advantage of it just sitting there open for shooting, but now she's trying to leave, so we're not going to let that happen, and we're going to keep following her, keep making shots on it. Definitely want it to sink. It's very shallow here, so I've sunk 3 tankers and you can still see them sitting above water, but they are actually sitting on the ocean floor here. So there's it's kind of deceiving. I kind of end up wasting shots on that actually.
Feuer an Deck.
Yeah, there we have it. No escape for that boat there. A couple of nice big explosions, nice big fire on board. Hopefully it's enough to take her down. Fireworks are going off, it's good. But yeah, she's definitely going down. And as you can see, she's not quite going to go below the waves. Well, I thought that was the last one to go down, but it appears that there's still this one which hasn't quite been fully destroyed yet, so we're going to continue on with that, and hopefully we'll be getting on our way very shortly. Just a couple more shots to send this one down, and then we'll get back out into the open ocean and see if we can find some convoys. Okay, there we have it. All the ships that were here, they've all been taken care of. Believe it or not, this one is actually sitting on the bottom. Must be low tide right now, but she's down. I've still got a little bit of deck gun ammo though, so we've got some in the hold, and we're going to use what we've got left on board just before we depart. Okay, so there we have it. Caused massive amounts of damage here. Heaps of ships sunk to the bottom. Heaps of the oil fields are just obliterated. Worth all the travel all the way to the other side. So now we just got to try and get out of here in one piece. So now that we're heading out into the clear, we've managed to get away from some enemy ships that did end up turning up at the port. But we are going to need to resupply the boat. So as soon as we can, we're going to call up the radio man and get him on to see about a milk cow. So here we are, just get our request in. So DE2, and if we just have a look at the map here, we'll find out where DE2 is, and we'll just flip that message off. It's about some warships that were turning up to us earlier. So DE2, DE2's quite a way away. See, we're less than half a tank of gas on us, so we definitely need to be doing that. Alright, we managed to get there, and eventually, took a long time, but cut that out of the video. Here we are, we just re-request, and it will give us a little bit more of an accurate description of where they are. Coordinates have been added to the map. And got massive bloody fatigue problems with the staff here. Just go tell the captain to try and do something about that if we can, but that's where our friendly U-boat is, and we're going to hopefully come up and team up with them and take everything that they've got for us. Alright, now we've managed to get ourselves right up close and personal. We're going to send over a team to deal with loading and unloading. So just going to select a few people, make sure they got the empty backpack just in case. I don't know if that's going to make any difference or not. And we're going to just send as much crew over as possible. Hopefully that will speed up the process. It's my first time actually doing this out in the middle of the ocean. Normally I just come and go in between ports. Get a supply ship. Just want to see their cargo really. Don't really want to ask how their bloody trip's going. We're pretty low on food, so I think first of all we'll take a bit of that. I don't want to go overboard and take too much because I want to see what else we've got available for us. Take a few bits of food. I think some health kits would be a good benefit for us. And we definitely want to resupply our deck gun ammo. We used pretty much everything we had almost back at that port. Fuel is my major concern. We've only got half a tank and we've still got a lot of ground to cover. And we didn't really use too many torpedoes, but we will take everything that they've got that we can fit on board. Like these ones with the FAT, whatever that stands for. It just means you get a second run if you do miss. And we've got a little leftover space, and we'll take your cheese as well. Thank you very much. Hope I've left you with enough to get home. Okay, well 6 days has passed. So just sitting out here in the middle of the Atlantic, no problem. Nothing to see here, and we'll wave goodbye to our friendly sub over there, and we're going to get back down to periscope depth, and we are going to start heading out towards some markers that are already placed on the map for us, and we're going to hope that we can start picking up some enemy ships. We've got a full tank of gas, got a full cargo of torpedoes, plenty of food. Let's go get it. So just up here we've got something marked up for us. It's called Southern Routes, and it says that the High Command believe that a lot of the Allies are flying under false flags, probably neutral ships. So if we can investigate 6 ships, we might get a reward for that. I'm not sure what it means exactly. Do I shoot them down, or do I have to try and incapacitate and board? I'm not sure, but we're going to head down there and have a look at that. So it doesn't give us a search area as such, it's just a marker on the map. So I'm not quite sure how much around that you can go to investigate and have it still count, but I've just drawn a little square around here and we'll have a go. Hopefully we'll pick up a convoy or a lone ship or something, and we can see what we can do about it. Okay, I've done a couple of laps around here and I haven't found a single ship on the sonar or on the hydrophone, but there's a last stand up here which I believe is just sinking tonnage, and I reckon we got a better chance of finding convoys up this way, so that's what we're going to do. Can't be going home without sinking something. Well, it feels like it's taken me forever, but I've managed to actually find a convoy at up here somewhere around the last stand area. It's quite a big convoy, decent size. So we're going to close in and see if we can pick them off. We have our first contact here, and that looks like an enemy destroyer straight off the bat. So that's, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Probably not going to tangle with it just yet. But if we took that out, that might give us a good opening to get involved with the rest of the convoy. Here we go, we've got an Empire tower, maybe, I don't know. Never know which one's which on these Empires. I've been playing this game for a fair bit now, I still don't know the difference between them, but we haven't closed in the gap enough yet. Okay, this enemy warship must have the super hearing or some good sonar on her, because I've been sitting here quite patiently, just moving slowly, but alarm bells are already ringing, so I don't know if I've been spotted or if they're just aware of something, but we need to get this red light on. We can have a little look through the glass and see exactly what's happening here. So I do want to try and take the not a freighter, but this enemy warship down. It's going to be one of the things that causes us an issue if we don't do it. So now we've got the red lights on, we can actually see what it is, and we'll just recognize this quickly, but just as we're doing that, kind of getting the impression that she is hard turning towards port, which is right where I am, right to her 9 o'clock. I reckon it's probably this ship, but no, I'm not going to tangle with this. I'm going to dive the boat down. I think we need to go silent running, get down to 70 meters or something, and then we're just going to maybe try and keep ourselves quiet, get past her and pop our head back up somewhere around the convoy. Enemy destroyer evaded. We're back with the convoy, and I think the destroyer might just be somewhere out behind where we are, but we've got ourselves an opportunity here with an Empire that's within range, so we're not going to waste too much of our time, and we're going to get on with the solution for it. So there we go, it is an Empire tower, but I'm going to quickly do the solution, so we'll get some speed for that. As soon as the front goes through the crosshair, we'll start the clock. Press start. And the back of the boat through that crosshair, stop the clock again. Set that, there we go, got our speed, pretty much got everything we need. Just need the distance now, so we'll line that up with the water line. Get that flag right there, set that, okay, you're well within range. I believe there's also another Empire within range. I don't know which one to go for first. I don't know if we'll manage to get a simultaneous attack here, but we'll get the solution for them both. We've pretty much got the majority of it worked out already with the angle and the speed. We just need to do the recognition and the distance and the main things that we need to do. Okay, so we've got that. Just grab our distance. We're going to fire torpedoes at both of these guys just to see if we can do a simultaneous attack, but never quite know. As soon as you hit one, then the alarm goes. One starts to turn. Okay, so one torpedo should hopefully be enough to do some damage on to this Empire tower. So we'll get that loaded up, flooding that. And Tube 2 could fire. Now we're going to quickly go back to that first target and see if we can launch it about the same time. Should have probably launched at this one first. She's back. Now while that's loading or flooding, I'm just going to quickly check the speed of the convoy again, just to double check that I haven't missed something. Back of the boat through, stop and set. Yep, so nothing's changed, so we did get a true reading there, so we'll fire off one torpedo for her as well. Alright, so we got one hit there with one torpedo, and that looks like a pretty solid hit. Big fire on board already, so we're just hopefully it's going to be enough to do maximum damage and send her down, but we'll have a look at the other one. So we can see our other target in the background there burning away, but we've been watching this boat here for a couple of seconds already and it doesn't quite look like I'm going to get the hit on her. Kind of looks like she's changing course, as she would if there was a torpedo going off behind her. Well, that's not too bad. 50% of her torpedoes managed to get something, and this one looks like she's going to go all the way down. And I think if we give the convoy a chance to have a rest, we'll catch back up and hopefully we'll get our revenge on that other empire that we didn't manage to strike this time. Okay, early hours of the morning. Looks like the sun's just about coming up for sunrise, and we've managed to catch back up to the convoy. They've all had a little break from doing their evasive maneuvers and they're back on course. So now we're just going to move in, and we've got a pretty big C3 cargo here that looks good for the taking in my opinion. So that's the one I'm going to be targeting as a high priority right now. There is other ships around it, but if I can manage to sink this beauty, then I'd call that a good day, or a good start to the day at this time. So we'll start that clock, and the back of the ship through there, stop and set that. Perfect, she's in range. She is actually moving quite quickly, probably too quick for a torpedo attack, I would say. Maybe they haven't quite calmed down as much as I thought, so what I'm going to do is just move alongside the convoy, speed it up. Got our enemy destroyer that's just been lurking out in the waters this whole time as well. So I'm going to get these attacks done quickly. Just going to double check the speed of this C3 cargo here, so start that clock again. In the back of the boat through the crosshair. There you go, she's gone from 11 knots down to 7, so she's definitely under no alarm state right now. Perfect for a torpedo attack. We're going to make the most of that before this enemy destroyer catches up to me too much and we have to bolt. See what else there is in the convoy here though. So we've got another empire as well just in front, and we'll have a look at this. Probably I've already sent off my torpedoes for the other one. God, every time I forget to bloody have a look at the boat, see what it is. So it's an empire, yeah, whatever it is. Now we can get the distance, just up that periscope a little bit, and we'll try and get one torpedo away on her. Hopefully we'll sink 2 ships for the price of 1. We'll have to have a look at that and see how we go. She might already be way out of it. Okay, that's beautiful. That's 2 good hits on C3. Was hoping for a fire on board at least, but she's got a little bit of a tickle going on. Hopefully it's going to be enough to send her down. The sun's coming up now. We've sat back and we've held our own just to wait to see what happened with the C3. She's very heavily damaged, taken on quite a lot of water, but she is still sitting above the surface, and you can see the health bar on the left here. She just needs that little bit of extra encouragement to go down, so we're just gonna see what we can do with the deck gun. And you can see that the convoy isn't that much ahead of me, but I believe that there's enough of a gap between me and them that I can surface the boat and use the deck gun just to see this, and then I'll get back under, catch back up to the convoy, and we'll try and take down something else. We kind of need to move in a bit closer here though. bit far out for what we're trying to achieve here. Seem to be hitting a lot of water. But yep, that's the game plan. Get this C3 down and catch back up to that convoy. Well, we're back up with the convoy and we've got ourselves sights on a what looks like another Empire. It could be that same Empire that I didn't quite manage to hit on the last time, or on one of the occasions that we met the convoy, but she's in a pretty good position for an attack here, so we're not going to squander this one, I hope. So we just work on our solution, just the usual. Front of the boat through the crosshair and press go, and the back of the boat through the crosshair and stop and set. So 7 knots is perfect. Aim the periscope to the middle of the boat and flood tube 1. Tube 1 is ready to go, and fire. And we have a good hit there. That's 1 torpedo, hopefully it's enough. Don't really want to have to keep surfacing the boat to use the deck gun, but that already looks like there's a fire on board, and the front end is sitting already low in the water. There's a guy at the back of the boat. Might have a line out. Oh, he's gone now. Thought he was out there trying to have a fish, but front of the boat's going under. That looks like one torpedo is just going to be enough. Yep, it is. Lifeboats are out. And she's going down rather quickly, I would say. Not a bad attack there. So we'll let her sink her way down to the bottom, and hopefully we can catch up with the convoy, and we'll see if we can get a few more ships to go down before we have to head back in towards La Rochelle. Now we're back here chasing up the convoy, and it looks like they've split themselves off into a few different groups now. So we've got like a few groups of 2s and 3s, 3s and 4s. As far as the hydrophone can tell us, it looks like a 2 at the moment. I think a 3 and 4. So what we're going to do is have a look at them and see if any of them are armed. And if they are armed, we'll go with a torpedo attack. If they're unarmed, okay, this guy's armed, so he's going to be our priority. And the other 3 look like they're unarmed, so we'll torpedo attack this guy. So we'll just pull our ruler out, try and get his angle of travel, and I'll pull a line through the ship and north to south. Use the protractor to line that up. So we have our Liberty cargo here in range, in sight. Managed to catch up, so we'll start doing our solution for her. So straight away we're going to recognize her. Liberty cargo, angle of bow, we already know that, 74 degrees. We will double check that though, just on the map work. There you go, brilliant, 74. So now we want the distance. Okay, she's within 5 k's, which is the maximum. So front of the boat through the crosshair, and we'll start the clock. Yep, stop and set the clock there, so she's doing 7 knots, and she's definitely going to need 2 torpedoes if we want to get any sort of damage on her. And hopefully 2 is going to be more than enough. So tube 1 and 2, flood and fire. Perfect. Now there are other ships obviously trailing behind her, so we'll just have a quick look at those as well. Maybe they might be good for a torpedo, maybe they won't. If not, we could always use the deck gun, but it's a pretty quick solution. We've got most of it worked out for them already. So 7 knots, 74 degrees. And we just need to recognize what this is. This looks like an Empire. Okay, let's actually recognize it first. Looks like an Empire tower. And we'll just get the distance real quick. And we've got torpedoes warmed up. We might as well send 1 away. And then it's only 2 ships that we might need to use the deck gun for. So tube 3 flood and tube 3 fire.
Treffer.
Okay, I was thinking that we were going to be hitting this Liberty cargo ship here first, but looks like we managed to get that hit on the Empire Tower in the background there, which was all good, but hopefully this ship here is still going to manage to get a hit on it, because I thought I would have hit this first, which means I'm thinking I've already missed. Okay, we got one. Is that the first one or the last one? Nevertheless, there's a fire on board. Hopefully it's a bit of good damage, and hopefully the one in the background there is just going to go down as well. Now, one torpedo wasn't enough to get this Liberty cargo down. It's only done about, yeah, 1/3, 1/4 of damage. But she has stopped dead into the water now. So we're on the surface with our deck gun, and we got no threat around us as such, because if she has any guns on her, she's probably not using them right now. It's probably under a bit too much stress to have a guy on the guns. Hopefully we can pick her off though.
Feuer an Deck.
She's taking a lot of rounds with the deck gun, but there's fires on board. Just going to keep working on her and send her down.
Feuer an Deck.
Some stubborn ships here. The old deck gun's not quite as quick as I would hope, but we have managed to do good damage, and we're just sort of panning between the 2 or 3 ships that are within our sights. We're just hoping that we can cause enough damage to either stop them so that we can come back to sink all of them at once, or just completely sink them. Lifeboats in the water. That's a good sign, so that means that this boat's on her way down. She's got a raging fire on board her deck, so that's good for us. There's just still a couple of more ships that are out here for us to take a few more shots on, but I think I might speed that up just so we can try and catch back up to the convoy if possible. Oh, that looks like the last of the empires in this little group of ships here. Got their boats out in the water, the staff are climbing up. So she's on her way down. There's just one boat left that we need to go and take care of, so we better get back out there and see if we can complete our endeavour here. So it's just this Liberty left for us to take care of. This has already been hit with a torpedo. We did let her carry on her merry way while we took care of a few other boats. But hopefully she's not going to last too long. I do need to close the distance on her though.
Feuer an Deck.
There we go, she didn't take too much more convincing, just a few more shots with the deck gun there, and she's on her way down. Did manage to close the gap in the end. But the lifeboats are in, there's a big fire on board, and that's the end of that. So I think what we're going to need to do now is
Sie sinken.
try and submerge the boat again, try and get back up to see what the convoy's doing, see how far away we are from home. If it's not really worth getting out there and interfering with the convoy again, I think we might just make that move to head back home, but we'll have a look at it.
Herr Kaloi, ich
So I
habe
was
eine
heading on
Position
back to port,
festgestellt.
and
Vermutlich ein
here we
Geleitzug.
go, we've got another convoy popping up here. I was actually trying to get away from the last convoy, and I don't want to have anything to do with this one either. It's quite a large number of ships. This mission is just taking too long. Like, it took me a lot longer than what this video will end up being to get to Aruba and back, so I'm just going to keep on heading back towards the port. Oh, good, we're back at the port. We've travelled a long way. The boys are tired, so let's talk to our admiral here. Let's see what he's got to say for us. Okay, so we've got one of our guys got a bit of experience, bit of something else. See how much XP I get for this. Okay, I thought I would have got more than that. Did manage to sail like halfway around the world and back in one piece. But there you go, we've got a campaign mission complete, the assault of Aruba. And now we've got a few ships sunk down here, that's good. We've been making newspaper. Rudolph sunk, that's good. Now how many other ships did we manage to sink here? We got a few. Most of those were in the port already though, they were easy pickings. And we got a few extras with those convoys. Can't complain with that, I would say. Not too bad. Travelled a very long way. There's our radio messages if anyone really needs to see that. But we've been gone for 2 months. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. Sorry that I've been away for a few weeks. I've had a little bit of a break. Been busy with work. I will definitely be focusing quite a bit on YouTube over the Christmas period where I get 3 weeks holiday. Trying to kind of get ideas for the next game that I'm gonna do for YouTube, so if you've got any ideas, do please share, let me know, and like and subscribe.